Due to the increased violence and chaos in Iraq lately, I keep hearing Americans saying that we left Iraq too soon. How about we should have never gone in? That isn't meant to be a "I told you so" type of comment, because if you regularly watch my videos, you may know that I originally supported the war in Iraq when it first began, which was when I was 14 years old. I'm 25 now. Yes, it's been that long. The war in Iraq started when I was a freshman in high school. And you're telling me that the war was just too short? The war was supposed to be a cakewalk. Dick Cheney said, and this is a direct quote, "I think it would go relatively quickly, weeks rather than months." How about years and years? Oh yeah, let's trust that guy on Iraq again. Cool up, Ed Dick, you always know what's up. We would be greeted as liberators, remember? And when I say we, I really mean the military, the US government. Sometimes I'm guilty of doing this myself, saying we invaded Iraq, we left Iraq, we bombed Iraq, we fought in Iraq. I didn't do any of those things. Before anybody advocates for more war, I think it would be helpful to ponder, is this a war that I would be willing to fight in, or is this a war that I would be willing to send my child off to fight for this cause? I am a sideline spectator. I don't have to worry about getting deployed to Iraq. I've never been to Iraq. Truth be told, I have no interest in visiting Iraq, let alone fighting and risking my life for a potentially more stable Iraq. I often get messages from men and women in the military. Some have been deployed 4 or 5 times to the Middle East. You bet that takes a toll on their families. They're sick and they're fed up, and the last thing they want to do is be sent back to Iraq. Because it's easy to advocate for more war when you're safely at home on your living room couch. But war is not a video game. Real people with families are affected. It's important to make sure that Washington politicians are not putting anyone in harm's way for no good reason. And I understand that Iraq is in shambles, but there's terrible, awful things happening all over the world. How would you even begin to pick and choose what conflicts to be involved in? And don't forget about this. It's just not even feasible. Now, some will say that the US government has an obligation to fix Iraq. We broke it, we need to fix it. Alright, what's the brilliant plan to create a stable and peaceful multi-ethnic Iraq? And what is your confidence level that this incompetent administration can achieve that goal? Because P.S., Iraq has never been stable. Foreign intervention into super complicated internal conflicts often makes the situation even worse. There's always unintended consequences involved, such as the radical terrorist group now in Iraq using weapons supplied by the US government. Oops. It's like an I Love Lucy episode where she tries to fix things and then she just ends up making everything worse and creating new problems. Somebody needs to say, "You've done enough damage here. For the love of, just back away." We can't change the past, but we can recognize irresponsible foreign policy mistakes and refuse to support the same mistakes in the future. The Iraq War was a huge mistake. 4,500 Americans killed, 32,000 wounded, 130,000 Iraqi civilians killed, according to conservative estimates. The war cost about $2 trillion. Let's not repeat the same mistakes again.